A gunshot echoed through the frozen pines as I, Wyatt Harlan, fired my last round into the encroaching wolf pack. My breath ragged in the biting cold, swearing under my breath that solitude was my only salvation. Until a desperate knock shattered the silence like a plea from the grave. I staggered back into the cabin, slamming the door against the howling wind, my hands shaking from the adrenaline. Those wolves had been getting bolder this winter, testing the edges of my territory like they sensed my weakening resolve. 8 years up here in the Sierra Nevada since Pa passed and left me this hand-hewn refuge, and I'd sworn off the world below the saloons, the betrayals, the fever that stole my sweet Amelia from me. Never again, I'd muttered to her grave marker down in the valley, vowing that love was a fool's gamble in this unforgiving land. Better to sharpen my knife by the flickering hearth, my scarred knuckles a map of old fights and lost dreams, than risk that ache ripping through me once more. But that knock, ... It wasn't the wind's trick or some trapper's folly. It came again, feeble yet unyielding, pulling me from my chair. Rifle in hand, I cracked the door, snow blasting my face like icy accusations. There she stood, Eliza Thorne, though I didn't know her name, yet a widow soaked to her soul. Lips blue and cracked, eyes hollowed by grief that mirrored my own buried pains, flanked by 2 kids, a boy about 10 clutching a girl no older than 6, their tiny bodies quaking in the storm's grip. I froze, heart pounding not from wolves, but from the raw vulnerability in her gaze, a mix of shame, apology, and that damn spark of hope that stirred something I'd long thought dead inside me. "Please," she whispered, voice barely cutting the gale, we can't go on." Without a word, I stepped aside, the fire popping like it too was startled. She stumbled in, knees buckling. I caught her elbow, feeling her frailty like a ghost of Amelia's final days. The boy Jacob, as she'd later say herded his sister Lily to the hearth, his eyes wide but fierce, like a young colt ready to bolt. I draped heavy blankets over them, boiled water for tea, my movements automatic from years of patching myself up alone. "Name's Wyatt," I grunted, handing her the steaming mug. "Yours." "Eliza Thorne," she murmured, cradling the warmth. "These are my babies, Jacob and Lily." Her voice cracked, and in that moment, I saw the weight of her world, the societal sneers at a widow scraping by, the whispers in town that she was damaged goods unfit for another man's hearth, as they warmed, colour blooming on their cheeks. I rummaged in Ma's old trunk for dry clothes, all shirt for the boy, her faded calico dress for Eliza, thick socks for all. I stepped out into the blizzard to give them privacy, wind-whipping memories of Amelia's laughter, now silenced forever. Why did this feel like relief instead of intrusion? That vow echoed hollow now, cracked by the simple humanity before me, back inside, over venison stew simmering with the scent of sage and survival. Eliza spilled her tale, her husband crushed in a mining collapse last spring, their homestead withered by drought and seized for debts. 5 days trekking through blizzards, dodging rock slides and starvation, all while society branded her a burden. "No one hires a woman with young'uns," she said, tears glistening. "We're just ... ghosts." I nodded, murmuring, "You fought like hell, ma'am." "That's more'n most." Her eyes met mine, gratitude flickering into something warmer, stirring that forbidden pull in my chest, a whisper of connection I'd sworn to bury. As night deepened, distant howls rose again. I grabbed my rifle, heart racing, stepping out to fire warning shots that scattered the pack. But as I returned, hooves crunched in the snow. 3 riders, emerging like shadows from hell, led by that scar-faced snake, Harlan Voss. His voice slithered through the dark. "We know you're harboring debtors, Harlan. Hand them over, or we'll take mourn what's owed." My grip tightened. This wasn't just wolves anymore. It was the past clawing back, threatening to drag me into a fight that could shatter my fragile peace or, worse, awaken a love I never thought I'd risk again.